Thank you all for being here today. Wow, I can't believe I'm here at the Festival of Consciousness. It's amazing. Thank you so much. Okay, let's do this. Will you guys get loud for me? Will you do something? Okay, good. How many people have heard of Burning Man? How many people have been to Burning Man? All right. I got some explaining to do here. Let me start off by talking a little bit about what Burning Man is, and then we're going to get into what the opportunity for a transformational experience at Burning Man is. So this is our event in the desert. That horseshoe shape is our city. It's called Black Rock City, and that's where Burning Man happens. 80,000 people will gather for 8 days. And for those 8 days, we're going to be the 5th largest city in Nevada. And then when we're done, we're going to clean it up, and it's all going to completely disappear like it was never there. This event happens in the middle of nowhere on an ancient alkaline lake bed that's 67 kilometers long and 11 kilometers wide. It's really so far away, 2 hours from the nearest city. But for those 8 days, we're going to have people coming in from all over the world to prototype new ideas, to dance, to celebrate, to experiment in temporary community. And in the center portion, and then outwards where it expands, there's going to be art. Big art. Art that you can climb on, that is actually the art itself is a venue for other artists. It's the kind of place where people climb and play and engage, and we'll have over 400 pieces of art made by the artists and their groups, not for money, not because somebody told them what they wanted and then they invented it, but because they're passionate about it, because they want to create it. This piece, these mushrooms breathe with you in and out. These pieces are profound in the way they are created by the people that love them and the communities that they create while they're creating them. This piece came from Italy. And we'll take any kind of art. Many of the artists who come don't even know they're artists. They find out they're artists by being at Burning Man. Like this man got to quit his day job. Look at that piece of art. And, you know, anyone is welcome to create art. We get so much variety. We get art that moves. We get art that's whimsical or is made for ritual. We get art that's just sheer fun. And in the very center of our city is the man. That's where the Burning Man, lives. Every year it sits on a different kind of pedestal based on the theme. But every year on Saturday, the man burns. It's a tent city. It's a pedestrian city. It's a bicycle city. And it's run by volunteers. This is our medical crew and our ranger crew, probably about 1,800 people in these two crews alone. Our lamplighters, 900 strong, light the city every night. Why do these 16,700 volunteers do this? Because they have had a transformational experience at Burning Man. And this is their way of giving back to others so that they can also have the same opportunity. We are the busiest airport in Nevada for the 1 week of the year that we exist. And there's something that our city has that no other city has. That's the 10 principles. These are not rules, they're not dogma. These are ideas that hang together, that we all abide by. I'm going to run through them really quickly. The first one's gifting. We have no need for money at Burning Man, and we really just kind of discourage bartering. But giving a gift, beautiful, please give a gift. The participation. We create a shell. The organizers create a shell, that horseshoe shape, but all of the individuals that come to Burning Man bring the content. That's why it's different every year. Radical self-reliance. You have to bring everything you need. You're in the middle of nowhere, and you need it all. Bring it all yourself. Radical self-expression. You can be whoever you are. Radical inclusion. Everyone is welcome. Immediacy. Technology doesn't really work out there. Why would you be in the past? Why would you be in the future? Be here now. Leave no trace. We're going to clean up this place and leave it better than we found it simply because that's the right thing to do. Communal effort. Our city is made by all of us doing it together. That's the only way anything gets built. And civic responsibility. If there's a problem, we're all responsible for making it better. And my favorite is decommodification. We don't think of people as consumers, but creators. So you will find no sponsorship, no brand marketing, no businesses. This is a commercial-free zone. And if I could make my own 11th principle, it would be radical self-infundment. If you're not having fun, you're just simply doing it wrong. So yes, we are the biggest party on the planet, probably. Yes, we're probably the biggest rave as well. But that's just scratching the surface. As soon as you just go a little deeper, you find yourself in a place where the rules have been changed, where serendipity is no longer this crazy, lovely thing that just happens every once in a while. It kind of happens all the time. It's serentypical. A good example would be my friend was working with his friend on a project at Burning Man in a camp, and he realized he couldn't go any further in his project unless he had a yellow highlighter. So disappointedly, he walked away and went out into the streets of Burning Man, and within 5 minutes, a stranger gifted him a yellow highlighter. Or I had another friend who had the impossible task of meeting up with their best friend at Burning Man. She walked out into the open playa and within 5 minutes had met her best friend. I mean, these crazy things happen. Why? Because we've changed the rules. At Burning Man, it doesn't matter whether you're rich or you're poor, and nobody can tell anyway, right? There's none of the markers, none of the labels that we can tell who each other are at a distance in our real world lives. So there, you can be whoever you want to be. You can just be your authentic self. Who are you? What do you value? What do you care about? How are you participating? In our lives, we have so many transactional exchanges, but when you take away the element of money, all of that goes away, and all of your exchanges with people are unmediated. You know, when you go to work, you're working for money. When you go to the grocery store, you're paying for your foods. It's these transactional exchanges, but what happens when they all go? And it's unmediated, it's unfiltered, it's raw. Everything turns into a different game. So what I've seen in my 30 years of working with Burning Man is that when you give people a true opportunity to choose between money, power, and status, people choose a sense of fulfillment. That's what they really want in their lives. So just imagine you're a first-time burner, and you're going to go out to this huge, crazy city and do Burning Man. It's kind of intimidating, right? But what if when you went out, you just kept running into people that you really are so happy you met, or people you already knew, or magic just kept happening around you. Maybe you get swept up in a crazy march that's going around the city, and 8 hours later, you went, yeah, that's the way I really needed to spend my day. We are a permission engine, a place where you hear yes more than no. Oh, I always wanted to be an artist. Why not? Try being an artist. Go for it. Or, I bet you I can make the coolest art car on the playa because I know how to weld, but I've never made one before. Something that's like maybe an octopus with articulating arms that shoots fire off the top, that drives and plays great music. Yeah, these guys did not know that they were going to be the coolest art car on the playa before they came up with this, El Popo Mecanico. So it's a place where you can find joy. I like to think of it as a way of walking through life, actually, a philosophy. You don't have to wait for Burning Man to have Burning Man. You can embody Burning Man. I want to go back to gifting a moment because I feel like this is so important in our world today. To give a gift and expect nothing in return, that's what a real gift is, right? Brings you so much joy. To be able to hand someone a sandwich and they didn't even know they were hungry, and to see the smile on their face, or to receive a hug that's so fulfilling and so heartwarming that when you're 90 and have dementia and can't remember your spouse's name, you still remember that hug. And you don't have to go to Burning Man in the Nevada desert to find this experience. It's happening all around the world. We have over 240 representatives around the world and over 100 sanctioned events. And are you guys all aware that you just finished up your own regional event right here? Is there anybody from nowhere here? Let's give a shout out. Anyone from nowhere? Yeah, we got a few of you guys here. So Nowhere has been going on since 2004. It just finished up this year, having about 3,600 people at it. It's in northern Spain. And I think they had like 23 countries speaking at it. It's its own microcosm of what Burning Man is, and it's happening globally. Okay, so let's just get down to it. This is supposed to be a talk about transformational experiences, right? Everything I told you is a transformational experience, but let me just nail it down for you. There's 4 elements. The first one is feeling safe to explore. Explore what is around you, to explore yourself, to go deep with yourself. Because you feel safe. You don't feel judged. There's space for you to just be who you are without being self-conscious. To look at your demons and to look at your truths. To really have a chance to experience your own power and see how it affects other people. And to find an environment where you have trust and you have love, so that when you do let go, you feel like there are arms there to support you. That's number 1. Number 2, I'm sorry, I can't forget this one. A place to find your inner child. Powerful. At Burning Man, we value people over power, money, and status. So number 2 is doing meaningful work. I mean work not that you get paid for, but work that you love, that you're doing for a sense of satisfaction. You're doing it with other people together, without hierarchy, just to get the job done, because you so passionately want to share what you have with others. You're doing passion work, and you're doing it with the people around you that also have the same spirit as you, and you're doing it because you care. Number 3, being pushed out of your comfort zone. Yeah, for many people, just being in a dust storm, I say just, I've been going for 30 years. For many people, being in a dust storm is terrifying. Not being able to see your hand in front of your face and not understanding how long that's going to go on for can be terrifying. But when you get out the other side of it and you've done it, and you realize you're alive and you're well, and you realize that you found power in yourself because you made it through, and then you feel so good and so strong that you're able to share that experience with others. Or maybe being out of your comfort zone means overstimulated. Like there's just too much going on. I just need a break. Or how come everybody else is so cool and I'm not? Or I tried this thing and it failed and everyone else doesn't seem like they're failing. There's so many things that can make you feel like on the edge and so uncomfortable. And that's important. Burning Man breaks you. The highest highs and the lowest lows. But when you get broken and you fail, you learn. That's the edge. That's where you grow leaps and bounds. And we're there to support you. The 4th element is ritual and ceremony. So underappreciated these days in our daily lives, right? Every night, the lamplighters go out and light the city. You could have small ceremonies with friends or like organize things like this particular ceremony, or they could be the ceremonies of life that culturally we all look forward to, like getting married. We have like 60 marriages on the playa every year. Of course, the burning of the man is the most obvious ritual that we all participate in. Can you imagine being an individual with 80,000 people experiencing the same thing at the same time? You get to see how you fit into the context of the greater whole. And that's so powerful. One of the greatest gifts that were given to us came from another artist that came to Burning Man whose friend had passed away, so he built a temple to mourn his friend's loss. And we found that people at Burning Man needed this opportunity, this outlet so profoundly that we adopted it, and every year another artist makes a temple for our community to come and mourn all that they've lost. They bring ashes, they bring poems, they bring their parents. They bring whatever's meaningful for them, and for a week. They mourn those that they have lost. And then on Sunday night, no one told anybody to do this, but it happened. And it happens every year. People line the temple, and in silence, they burn the temple. So every year, people come home from Burning Man, and they quit their job in pursuit of more meaningful work. Or they finally get divorced, or married. Or they write that book, or they start to volunteer in their own communities, because they've found more meaning in their lives because they understand themselves better. And they find that transformative experience from Burning Man has profoundly affected the way they're going to live the rest of their life. I love this slide. Life's journey is not to arrive at the grave safely in a well-preserved body, but rather to skid in sideways, totally worn out, shouting, "Holy shit, what a ride!" That's Burning Man. Thank you.